Hey guys, welcome back. Another episode. We're gonna continue talking about dope as is. On this one, you're gonna hear about the application of it. So not only will you hear about how we use it in our marriage, see about how we use it in our everyday life as well too.
Yeah.
So to kind of start off, ladies first. So tell me, how do you think you apply, the concept of dope as is in your life?
I'm gonna spin it around. How about you go first, Bucko?
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. No,
So for me, dope as is probably comes out the most. Um, Honestly, in how Thaddeus and I communicate. And so what I mean by that is Thaddeus does not accept subpar Lauren. And sometimes that's really hard for me to deal with because Thaddeus has a little bit of a tone and he'll get a little bit of a tood and he'll be like, Lauren, like, I don't understand, like, you're
you
great,
don't be
like, why are you
listening.
doing
That's why you don't listen.
Okay, and maybe that is one way that we communicate with one another. But at the end of the day, it makes me sometimes kind of remember who I am. So I appreciate Thaddeus for being like my built-in accountability person. But as far as like wanting to just be mediocre at times or shoot to do nothing, Thaddeus does not accept that within me. So I would say that's probably where it comes out the most within our relationship with one another and probably within the house. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best way. Yeah, best way to go about it. Not only just in that, I think that's like more in the marriage aspect of it. For me, I kind of think of it more just of reminding myself I'm the shit. It's like more of a thing of just realizing like the way you are is the way that you're built to be. Like I firmly believe that ultimately we're all built in different ways. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not asking anybody to be religious or anything like that, but yeah, think about it. God built you with the intent in mind. Now that intent that He had in mind could be as minuscule, like, hey, maybe you're just a janitor in school. Perfectly fine. There's a lot of janitors in schools that I know have affected people in ways. Like you can go back to NFL players, and I like to listen to their Hall of Fame speeches. You've had some who talked about the janitors, and if that janitor wasn't in that person's life at that time,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be where they're at now, possibly. So I think everybody has a role to play, no matter how big or small your role is.
Mhm.
You have to not only accept it, appreciate it, but realize, like, hey, I was built for this reason and this purpose. I'm the only person that can do this, so I am dope. I'm dope in my own way. And not only that, I think like last week, the last time we talked about trust your truth a little bit.
Mhm.
I think that ties into it as well too, and I hope we can unpack that later. But to me, is if you can trust your truth, then you can truly unlock your dopeness. Because once you realize who you are and you believe in
Yeah.
that, and you're okay with that, like, hey, this is who Thaddeus is, this is who I am, this is my truth. I'm dope the way that I am.
Yeah.
I don't have. I feel like, of course, there's some days where I wake up and maybe it's like, damn, man, my waves ain't hitting like they usually are. And some days it's like, all right, I'm still cool, can't worry about it. So it's kind of like that. Everybody's gonna have off days. You're gonna wake up and not feel like going to work. You're gonna wake up not feeling like, going
Doing
to whatever
life.
doing life, being adulting. But you to realize, I'm dope. I'm gonna get through the day, and it is okay. And that's one thing I say about it. There's days I wake up and say my waves might not be hitting right. My beard
Oh my
might feel like
gosh,
it's
that
patchy,
is.
but no, it's more than just looks. But sometimes, like for example, my coaching. There's sometimes in my coaching, my coach 6th and 7th graders.
Mhm.
There's sometimes in my coaching, I'm like, dang man, am I really helping these kids get better? And I have to kind of reaffirm myself like that is. You know what you're doing. You play football most of your life. You know
Yeah.
football. Like you are dope at this, and especially like.
So
at
it helps
the
you
end-
with like your credibility.
Yeah, it kind of like it's
Okay.
not just credibility. It's one thing that was just credibility to me. Thing is credibility is when I put the power in somebody else to give me credibility, right? Like I put the power in somebody else to tell me I'm good at something. Be dope as is you taking that power away from somebody else to tell you how
Tell
you
yourself.
are.
I really like that you mentioned it in that way because I think that was kind of that part for me that was like I want to control the narrative. Like it doesn't have to be always what someone else thinks of me. It's me telling me this is what it is and that's it. So I'm glad that you mentioned it in that way. But yeah, I think it's gaining control, so that power again, but gaining control of the narrative in that way to be able to speak upon yourself. And then also remind yourself in those times where it can be forgotten. I know for me, it has to do with a lot of times I'm in sales, I'm an outside salesperson for a Fortune 500 company, and I'm knocking on doors all day. And I will say I probably hear the word no before most people before 9 a.m. than most people probably hear all year. Unless you're also a salesperson, then you understand what I'm saying. And so sometimes in all the rejection, like you start to feel some type of way. But then I'm like I still know who I am. Somebody saying no to me at this time, because you know with sales you gotta go back a couple times. But somebody saying no to me at this time doesn't change like what I think and who I think I am. So I think that it's like kind of reminding myself and picking myself back up in some ways to just be like, yeah, I'm dope as is. This is nothing.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, we're all have moments where we're lacking in that, and we're not, fully confident in who we are. So I mean, shit, we all have moments where it's like, damn, man, like, am I good at this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So in those moments, like, you have to tell yourself, like, hey, it's okay. Like, you'll get through it. You had a bad day. It's a phrase that I use a lot, and I'm like, Jordan had a bad game. Like, Jordan, arguably, no matter who you talk to, Jordan is going to be in somebody's top three. He's the one person you don't deny him to go.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's just like, he had bad games. He had bad games, and he's still considered the GOAT. I can have a bad day, and I can still be dope, and I can still be who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But we can get rambling all day about this.
But I'll say this: the biggest thing is just to remember to keep getting back up, even when you have those times when you're lacking, right? Like, I mean, because it's a practice at the end of the day. So it's how do you walk it out every day? You just keep getting back up, and you keep reminding yourself. So you want this phrase, dope as is, to be instilled in your head.
Well, thank you for watching this episode and watch us rant a little bit about, dope as is, just how we use it and how we tie into everything on the everyday life. Next week, we're going to basically break it out even more. Talk about some things that we see in society, some things that we think, with people that heck, who maybe not even wore the shirt, but are good examples of people who embody dope as is. Right. So please, catch us next week, take a listen. Other than that, we'll catch y'all. See you later.